Hello, fellow randos. I hope you're having a lovely day as we all go about our business being extras in Amber Heard's life.
You decide to write an op-ed.
It wasn't about my relationship with Johnny. I had lawyers review all the drafts of this.
Maybe you should have told your lawyers that you intended to go on the witness stand and admit.
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed.
But it alluded to him. It was unmistakable.
No shit.
That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed.
Welcome, Turd 2, Electric Poopaloo. We're off to a great start in lack of self-awareness land. And you would think I was talking about Amber Heard, but no. I'm talking about The Today Show. Is that how you refer to it, The Today Show? Because it seems sort of pretentious to just say today.
There's a text message where Johnny promises total global humiliation for you.
If Johnny Depp isn't the perfect abuse victim, if he expresses anger towards his abuser, he wasn't abused. Is that it?
Do you feel like that came true?
What the hell was that about? We've been having these tight edits by the team. That's why they have two cameras, so they can cut out whatever they want. Really tight edits to try to keep everything to the point. And then we have this long 15 seconds, I counted, where she's struggling to find the words. They chose to give this impression that she is struggling emotionally because it's so painful. This is what the clip should have looked like if the Today team at all valued its audience's time and intelligence.
Johnny promises total global humiliation for you.
I know he promised it. I testified to this.
Yeah, looks a lot different, doesn't it? That is the Today team giving her the opportunity to set the emotional tone.
I know he promised it. I testified to this. I'm not a good victim, I get it. I'm not a likable victim. I'm not a perfect victim.
I listened to the recordings of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's fights, and I found something that I think people have missed.
Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights have been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a closed fist.
You get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you.
You can't
I don't know
deck
what
me.
the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
You can hear the desperation in his voice.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
He is now appealing to her to validate his experience.
No, when you fucking have a closed fist.
He's trying to use logic, reason.
I don't know
deck
what
me.
the motion of my actual hand was.
Can you hear the laughter in her voice?
I don't know
deck
what
me.
the motion of my actual hand was.
She's enjoying this. And she's enjoying it because she has gotten Johnny to invalidate himself and to seek her approval for his own experience. So let's go back.
I'm not a likable victim. I'm not a perfect victim.
You're not a victim.
But when I testified, I asked the jury to just see me
And they did.
as human and hear his own words, which is a promise to do this. It feels as though he has.
He had the witnesses, the recordings, evidence, her confession to hitting him multiple times. But what's critical here is that he knew undermining her lies would humiliate her. And he did it anyway. And suddenly the world is supposed to revolve around how Amber Heard feels about things. Would we accept this logic in any other circumstance? Your Honor, we can't charge him for his criminal activities. That might make him sad.
Having been found liable, are you nervous as we are here today about what you can say?
Ooh, what we're doing today could be actionable. This is an interesting hill for the media to choose to die on.
Of course, I took for granted what I assumed was my right to speak.
There you have it, folks. Johnny Depp has silenced her.
But I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
If he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, he's just very dramatic.
Isn't it? Do you feel like you could be sued again by him for defamation?
I'm scared that no matter what I do, no matter what I say or how I say it,
Here's a thought. Tell the truth.
every step that I take will present another opportunity for this sort of silencing,
She took away his voice and laughed about it.
which is what I guess a defamation lawsuit is meant to do.
A defamation lawsuit is supposed to stop you from telling provable lies. You just don't like that you got caught.
It's meant to take your voice.
Let's roll that 15 seconds of her setting the tone again.
You're not
Like
punched.
that came true.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
See what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence. And
Yes.
Hits different this time, doesn't it?
I know he promised it. I testified to this.
He promised to hold an abuser to account. Good.
Why didn't I cooperate with the police? As I've testified before, and I will stand by until my dying day, I didn't want to cooperate with them. I didn't want this to be out.
You would think that the concern with the police is that they would arrest Johnny. But that's not what she says.
I didn't want this to be known.
Well, let's set aside the fact that she called the police in the first place. And the police aren't the media. They're not going to immediately run to TMZ and give them the scoop.
I didn't want to get him in trouble. If it was a hoax, I could have done that.
This is a really specific denial of something that nobody mentioned. Starting to get a little confused here.
5 days later, you went to court, and it came out.
5 days later, I made the decision.
You don't need evidence for a restraining order. You just need to tell the judge that you felt afraid. They did that back in the Victorian era. A lot of people don't know. There were restraining orders in the Victorian era. And the reason why there weren't restraining orders prior to the Victorian era, because there weren't any police to do the restraining. Yeah. I think this is more about the fact that the police expected some evidence of what she was asserting, whereas the judge didn't.
To stand up for myself and protect myself. You can't get a restraining order in private, which of course I didn't understand the night when the cops were called.
This is an extremely strange framing. Let me try to figure this out. Carry the two. I'm just going to go with she's lying.
When you wrote this op-ed, it was the height of Me Too. Legions of powerful men canceled, losing their jobs. Did you want that to happen to Johnny Depp?
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched. Don't tell me what I feel. Don't take away my voice. Implicit in that statement is that Amber Heard has the ability to take away his right to speak. There's a lot of talk about how Amber Heard is being held to the standard of the perfect victim. But you tell me, what abuser has ever pleaded with his victim to not take his voice away? The way this concept of a perfect victim functions is to essentially say that once a woman makes an accusation of domestic violence, she is a victim. Any evidence that she was the aggressor, well, you're holding her to the standard of being a perfect victim. Just another way of saying that men can't be abused. The Today Show has allowed Amber Heard to frame this entire conversation in terms of how this defamation case has affected her emotionally, as if that matters. For those of you just catching up, it doesn't. I counted at least 3 motives and statements that she stole directly from Johnny. She wanted the jury to see her, which is exactly what Johnny said. He wanted who he truly was to be seen. She said that Johnny silenced her. She silenced Johnny. She wanted the truth to be told. Repeatedly, Johnny has referenced getting the truth out. She took these words from him, and she made them her words. She stole them. She's twisting the knife, and the media is handing her the weapon.
How do you see your future now?
I get to be a mom,
I honestly feel sick to my stomach.
like full time, where I'm not having to juggle calls with lawyers.
But you're appealing.
One day you may want to tell your daughter about this or have to tell your daughter about everything that you've gone through.
Everything she's gone through, huh?
What would you
This is where the interview becomes surreal.
Remove these pregnant pauses.
want to say?
I think no matter what, it will mean something. I did the right thing, did everything I could to stand up for myself and the truth.
Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
If he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, he's just very dramatic. Isn't it?
Heard and Depp's volatile relationship
Volatile.
lasted just 4 years. Depp confirming his engagement to me on Today in 2014.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
Yeah, very. She's a wonderful girl.
Run.
She's sharp as a tack, wonderful, Southern belle, and sweet as can be, and very good for me,
Imagine being an abuse victim and the media playing clips like this. He'll never get away from powerful institutions constantly stripping him of his dignity, rubbing his nose in his worst moments, and taking his voice away.
Very good for me,
On the first day of the trial, you issued a statement, and part of the statement said, "I still have love for Johnny."
You're a fucking baby.
Because you start physical fights?
Such a baby!
Because
Grow
you-
the fuck up,
Because you start
Johnny.
physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the
Because-
fuck out.
Yes,
Is that still true?
yes,
After everything.
absolutely.
There can be no physical violence.
I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it.
No, Amber. People say a lot of mean things when they're angry, but only abusers laugh about it.
And I tried the best I could to make a deeply broken relationship work.
See what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence. And
Yes.
it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
There's nothing about the truth in that. Everything reduces down to power with her.
If he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, he's just very dramatic. Isn't it?
And I couldn't. I have no bad feelings or ill will towards him at all.
I can only imagine what it must be like as an abuse victim to watch your abuser say stuff like this. Your entire nature is ill will. You don't have ill will, you are ill will. I don't want to listen to her say she loves him again or play the all-forgiving wronged woman.
Depp's attorneys have said they do not see the verdict in this case as a setback to victims of domestic violence.
Why is this framing even seriously entertained? It's like they all come from a world where men can't be victims.
It was an interesting answer to, do you still love him in the present? Wow. Interesting conversation.
Interesting conversation, right? What Today is doing here is the equivalent of coming across a man beating the ever-living out of his wife and handing him a knuckle duster. That's the press's contribution to all of this. Yeah, very interesting. I predicted that Today would end up falling on Amber Heard's side, and I believe that prediction has been borne out, starting with the fact that they allowed her to frame herself as a victim of his defamation lawsuit. I don't think so. You're not a victim of having your actions have consequences. And then moving on to all of the nonsense about her trying to keep their relationship or make their relationship work, and all the attempts at trying to make her look sympathetic with her daughter, and it was all very phony. But at the end of the day, what they have done is facilitated an abuser to continue to deprive her victim of his voice.
Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence.
I think we've all done a lot of work here. You all watching this, myself editing and recording it. If you enjoyed this content, or at least found it enlightening, please consider giving me a tip at feedthebadger.com/justthetip, right there and in the low bar. And I'd like to thank you for your kind attention, and here's a little bonus content.
They get the bird's gonna get away. He's good. But you here.
Have a lovely day, and don't worry, I'm still working on that secret reason why all of this is happening.